Yeah, so we're
Mhm.
talking about this like handler, and now like those like I think like the handler is also the one that's causing you some issues in life as well. Is there anything else we should look for?
Well, about the dream thing,
Mm-hmm.
our last session, I told you about the love story that I had, and then you gave me the alien love vibes. So it was spot on, everything, all the characteristics, everything was there. It was like reading a script, like of my own life. So anyway, I still see this guy in my dreams
Mm-hmm.
very often these past few days as well. And I also see his mother, who I haven't even actually met, and it's kind of weird. Like she tells me some stuff there, and I just don't know what to think about that relationship. Like
Yeah.
I'm kind of hang to it, and also there's this like other relationship that could be something that like that as well, but I just like don't want like hope too much or get or like find myself getting involved in like this love fight kind of thing. So that would be something to check maybe
All
or
right.
whatever you can find out there. Good, there could be some interesting things on my father's house because I don't know anything about on my father's side or their family. I know like a few years ago or like when I was like 15, okay, 10 years ago, I received a book from, I don't know where it came from, but it contained of funeral photos of my father's families and relatives, just funeral photos of dead people and also like death certificates. And my grandmother, my father's mom, she hanged herself for some reason. So but I don't know any of them, but I don't know. There could be something
Yeah.
worth to see.
All right. And is there
But
anything?
most,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, the most interested I'm still in finding out about myself. You know, the purpose and everything that we discussed in the last session, to like get me somewhere going.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And also, like, I just wanted to check, like, regarding getting out of body. Have you had any luck or like any kind of dreams or anything?
Oh, I'm glad that you mentioned that because the other night I have now I have just figured out a way like how to do it. Like I have like gone. Okay. So anyway, I was practicing sitting. It was like half an hour in already, and then I have this huge pain in my wrists and or around also and on my ankles, and then I'm not like this is it's weird. It was so painful. Then I was just thinking this could be something connected to the astral world, like that has happened, but no visuals, nothing can come true.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any vows, Rich?
Um, yeah, what I'm kind of sensing is that it's a lot of this is all tied together. The big thing is this thing about a handler or this being messed with in the astral or in your dream states. That's all connected, and it's connected with your out of body, your desire to get out of body, your interest in it, and then being messed with too. Uh, and then your purpose is it's right in there with this and your relationship issues. So I'm kind of seeing it all ties together really uh, well. But we're going to let Akvile take a look closer and really look in there, and we we can focus on one of these aspects or the other. They'll probably all
Sure.
kind of start connecting. But
Mm-hmm.
where do you sense or feel?
I'm going for the handler. I think like
Yeah,
he has the most like control or like most information so far. So we'll check it out.
yeah.
Yeah. And as I do the process, if you feel anything or if you have any thoughts, feel free to share about it. Like it might help out. So we'll go from there.
And while she's doing it, I'm going to be monitoring and tuned in, and I will say that that very good. I'll be coaching her and guiding her as she looks inward. Can we have this connection sort of thing? And that's how we do it. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
And if
I just
yeah, and if you feel anything or getting strong sensations or strong thoughts or voices or anything while she's looking, just pop right up and share what you're feeling or
Yeah,
experiencing.
like interrupt, so it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's okay. She'll
Yeah.
have her eyes closed and she'll be looking, but the feedback can help. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
All right.
Okay. Start. That right there. Yeah, that. Big time. Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah, like so far I'm picking up like there's like about 8 handlers, and they're all from Andromeda, and I'm like looking like like I felt them really strong, and all of a sudden I guess like really quiet, and I'm like, why is that? They're not hiding, but it's as if like they're like really working and like to mess you up, and like they get so quiet all of a sudden, like as if like playing innocent, like they're not doing anything, like trying to blend in the crowd and like act as if nothing happened. And I'm like, hey, so like spotting that, like like I'm basically like spotting that, like trying to pretend that they're innocent, and that's where like Rich got the reason stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll track them and see like how like what are they doing, like how they're messing with you and all, and take care of them.
Good. Okay. Did you want to say anything, Saving?
Well, I just felt some kind of like activity, like my meridians getting kind of like active and hands getting like more electricity and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Okay. Good deal. Continue. That. Yeah. That. Big time. You nailed it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so far like I'm tracking them like one at a time. Uh, I haven't looked at like what it looked like so far. I'm just like tracking like where have they been, like a dog sniffing out like their senses and stuff. And it's as if like they have like their own world, like which reminds me of this Earth where they have pyramids and like giant structures and stuff. And I go there like like nothing stands out, and I go underground, and it's just like facility, like it's as if like there's glass floors everywhere, and there's just like crystals, and I'm like they're not the usual artifacts that would give you the access to the information of the history, like of this place or planet or whatever. But I look at them, and I put my hand on the first one, and I see like this mechanism. It's as if it's like a heat wave or some invisible energy that comes around Earth, and it's always coming. And what it does is like numbs people down. It's like if we would have ability to be conscious and aware, it's always this like wave, like the sun is hitting us down all the time, like 24/7, and the whole humanity is like falling asleep or being slowly knocked out, and the visuals are being turned off, like all of the psychic abilities or like intuition, different things like that are affected, and all of that is like, sort of numbed down slowly. So that's one of the things I'm picking up so far. And you're the one, like like the whole humanity is affected, but you're the one in it that as well. Like because of that, your abilities to get out of the body or like see stuff, like when you close your eyes, is being like more like affected by that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll continue my work to like there's a lot of these crystals, like thousands. So I probably won't check every single one of them, but like take out the system and find where these handlers are.
Yeah, yeah. And if it seems like the right thing to do, you can look at which crystals would be affect her the most or be the
Yeah.
most part of her issues,
Yeah.
and we can catch that on the reads too.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, easy over there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so another crystal like sort of attracted me, and I'm looking like what's the story behind this one, and it's as if like it reminds me of a virus or some dust, like it's in the air, we breathe it in all the time, and that thing is like the activation of all the negative emotions. Like you're gonna get aggravated, like agitated, like mad, anxious, all the stuff like that's gonna get you like on like edge. But apparently you're not as much as the effect. Like you don't get those reactions, but other people around you, especially some guys or people that are close to you, get more like amplified, and they're the ones that like uh, it's not them pushing you away, but it's as if there's this the third party, which is like that dust or like that's affecting the people, and it's just like they're being mind controlled. So instead of them reacting normally and interacting with you, they get like like they get this sort of like a wall, or like they get scared, or like something happens to their system where they're like back off and they just like don't want to be close. So it's not you affecting them, but more like that, like a crystal with like this dust or whatever we would call it, is the ones like brainwashing people and getting them into that like anxious, angry, pushing away and all this stuff. So
Mhm.
that's there. yeah, I'll keep scanning and like taking out these crystals.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
scan for the next one that is affecting her more most specifically. That. What was that? That. Got it. That's it. Right there. Yeah, yeah. You got it.
Okay.
What happened?
Yeah, good guiding. I was like working on this like all these crystals like they will start shining or like have specific color that will attract me. So I'm like looking at this yellow one, and it's supposed to like affect our like motivation or how we react in life. And then I look at the other one like and it's like glowing orange, and I'm like yeah, but and then you see that and I'm like oh okay I'll just do that, and we get reads. It's as if like how do they say it? It's like this. Some people have like collar, but instead of like on their feet, on their ankle,
Yeah.
and these are like trackers that will like notify when they escape or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like similar mechanism, where the whole humanity or like every single person on Earth has this astral like little lock or collar, but on our bodies like feet or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever we're about to get out of body or have astral projection or something else like that, it's as if the physical body is like slowly electrified, which or like causes the gravity or something else that pulls the consciousness back in the body. So like it's
Wow.
like consciously like keeping us trapped. And another thing is as if like when we get out or have astral projection or something else, uh, that same mechanism will like it's invisible. You cannot feel it or anything, but it's like basically sending out the signals to entities and other beings, like hey, they're out, like trap them or like get them back in the
Mm-hmm.
body. So like that's why a lot of people always have the entities or someone else coming at them or like putting a box in, and it even happens like even before we get out or we get conscious of getting out. So like it takes us a step like oh I'm out like and we realize that, but before that happened they had a message and they came over, and sometimes they can put this like put us in a black cube, and a lot of people like hey are just like traveling the world in astral and they see black cube in the middle or something, and like what's that? So literally like that black cube is the astral trap, and someone else literally was getting out and they got trapped in that, and that's the thing like they cannot see anything, we get out but like can't see anything, can't feel anything, it's just like what is there? And we're actually inside that cube, and like lots of people are actually getting out, but they're trapped in that cube, and like they're just not able to get out. So that's one of those other things. So
Yeah.
I'll take out this crystal and like look for some other things.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting too. The color. There was a yellow one. That's power. The yellow chakra. The orange one. The orange
Yeah.
chakra would be sex. That's the sex chakra, and the red one is the root chakra. So there might be a connection there.
Mm.
It's encoded in such a way. So then when you do get out, and it's orange, it represents, something about this. And then so you will be harassed in a sexual way, where if somebody had a yellow, they'd be harassed or messed with or manipulated or controlled or handled with from a power and authority position.
Yeah.
Or
Mhm.
if somebody was there, it was green, they'd be manipulated in love issues and love stuff,
Mm,
sort
that
of.
makes
But
sense.
yeah, but you spotted the orange one, and okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
It is familiar. Yeah, definitely being brought to visual stuff all the time, getting raped. Some of the times I haven't been able to come conscious like fast enough, so I haven't been able to protect myself. Sometimes they come out like that behind me. They just like take me and push me, and then I like have to fight them. So that is like a big thing that is happening.
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a week ago from the last when I got raped, basically.
yeah,
It's harsh. So that's something else I can also check. Like,
yeah,
for those beings. No.
absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that stuff there is something, yeah, right there, yeah, that,
And I'm checking like that. Like there's a lot of these crystals. Like how should I say this? It's a huge structure. Like the room is vast. Like you just don't see the end, and there's like crystals next to each other, like all over the place. So like a 360, but not just that, but every single floor is filled with them, and all of those handlers are assigned only one, so they can choose only one crystal, which they can sort of amplify and affect people or different things. So I think like if we have eight handlers and they have eight crystals, like we removed three, so just like need five more and like I think that's the main things or the core things that like are affecting you, and then I can look for other entities that are like contributing into rape and different things like that.
Yeah. And you're
Yeah.
seeing this crystal clear.
Yeah, it's just
She sees this stuff visually like she's there. It's it's
it's
just
crazy.
it's crazy weird, man. Okay, continue
Yeah.
in a good way.
Okay.
Okay. That right there. Yeah, got it. Yep, that's it. What's going on over there, Sabine?
I'm just like in some kind of a zen zone, just
Okay.
trying to not freak out.
Okay. That right there. Yeah. Yep. You got it. You got it big time now. Mm-hmm. Yep. You nailed it.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, I was like like going through the room and there's this orb, like it reminds me of this lava lamp where you have these little bubbles like always going up in that like orb, and I walk up to it and put my hand in it and I feel this slow sort of like a drainage, and it's as if like it's a mechanism that keeps draining our energy, our consciousness, our awareness, and like our life essence and stuff. So throughout the day, we're supposed to be like really energized, and actually we're feeling exhausted and like numbed down and stuff like that. There's like one part. The other level of this whole thing is like when we're out of body, or we're in our dreams, where we're like lucid dreams or whatever. That same mechanism is sort of capturing our consciousness, so we cannot become aware or conscious that we're out or we're doing something, or like, hey, I'm in a dream, I'm in another realm. We don't have it going because this sort of mechanism, it's as if like it sucks up the consciousness and keeps us to one point where it's complete black and we're numbed down, so we cannot become aware, we cannot function normally like we should. And so I just like blew up that mechanism and like which had more reason stuff. So
yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. So I'll continue my work there.
Mm-hmm. Did you want to say anything before we continue?
No. Okay.
Okay. Good deal. Okay, start. Mm-hmm. Oh, big time. Nailed it again. Yeah, that. Mm-hmm. Got it. Big time. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah. Icky. I'm like going through the room and like this orb. It's like it's as if like there's lots of spiders and like webs and stuff like that, and that's my thing. I just hate that stuff, and I have to like confront it. So I'm putting my hand in it, and it's basically every time I put my hand in it, I see how it's affecting like what's the structure and stuff like that. So there's like these like bunch of astral spiders creating lots of structures to trap people. So it's if like when we're about to get out of body, or we're like bodies asleep and the we have like mind is awake, it's if like the spider will have a cocoon over us. So when we're about to get out of body or like like lift out, we're in the cocoon, so we're trapped and we're moving and stuff, but we're enwrapped in that thing and we cannot literally leave that sort of thing. So that's like one thing. Like they can also uh, like I guess like poison a spider or whatever. Like whenever they would inject the astral body, like we lose the like our visuals and stuff, so we cannot see. Like we're blinded, and that happens before we even like become aware. Like hey, I'm astral. Like I'm almost to get out, and boom, like it even happens before the whole like us getting out of body stuff. So that's another thing, and also
I feel like this stuff's happening to me too. This is some of the things going on with me as well.
a lot of people, I guess.
Wow.
And another thing, like it's as if they create this sort of void structure, like it's a never-ending tunnel, and people can get out in the astral, but it's if like they're all in the game of that spider. So basically, we're in, and we can like fly and fly and fly, and it's like it's just a tube, but it's like never-ending, and people cannot leave. It's like they're like always trying to do something, and uh, it's again like like sort of wrapped so that you cannot leave the structure. So you might be out in the astral, but all you see is darkness, and you can fly, you can do things, and you can like hit the walls or whatever, but you just cannot leave the place.
Wow.
So that's another thing. Like sort of I just like exploded, but crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so I can look for some more.
Yeah. Good. You're doing great. Yeah, big time.
Okay, this is an interesting one. So I got like to one floor down, and I'm like seeing this like one ball is like snowing, and I'm like I'm just like clicking it, but like don't really get anything. So
One globe, crystal
yeah,
thing or a
yeah,
bottle?
yeah. One crystal thing.
Uh-huh.
It's stuff like there's snow inside. Like it's just keeps snowing. So I picked it, but like didn't get any reads or anything stood out. So I look around and there's this crystal that just keeps glowing all over the room. So I pick on it and it's literally like the white light that people talk about, like that they see after death. And I just like, okay, like what's in it? So I just keep going and there's nothing in it. So like just like I make a switch for myself to where I just turn down the lighting, and there's just billions of people all around this one structure, and it's just like it's from the past lives, like like people who passed away, they keep going to the white light and they stuck, and it's just like they just keep building up, and it's like a highway, and there's with a huge traffic, and everyone's sitting there like all over the place, 360. Everyone's like lined up, and they're just standing still in stasis, and they're not able to get out. And this mechanism inside is as if like it's sucking the consciousness out of the body and putting him in a soul trap. So they're like never getting out. Like so, like it's just like the white light is actually the thing that puts people in the soul trap.
Wow.
And I just like took it away, but it's crazy thing.
Wow.
So it's
I,
I feel like some of your past lives had like like or some of your bodies from the past that passed like that dropped dead and you went away to the white light. They were like trapped, but like only 3 or 4. But there's like billions of other people from tons of places who had the same experience.
mhm,
Well,
what you mentioned about spiders, like I have become to see those like flashes of lights like everywhere. At first, I didn't think of anything about that, but then it came like more often. Like like you start to see something in the corner of your eyes, and it's not there anymore. And yesterday, I was working behind my table, and then I'm looking like, oh, there's a big spider, and I'm like looking, and then it's not there anymore. Like, I was like, shit.
yeah.
Yeah, this is just something that happened.
Yeah, and let me say something about this white light thing
Yeah,
with all
sure.
these beings in it. There's a lot of movies, Hollywood movies sort of thing, and this when you get pictures of heaven after you go to the light,
Yeah.
oftentimes, not always, but some movies will have a big long line of dead people waiting to go into heaven. And it's the same sort of phenomena. They're all in line, so we're being programmed to believe that we go to the light and we're probably standing in line. It'll be okay, and we're standing in line. Uh, but you're not going anywhere. You're just in a big white light ball, and right. And then the part about okay, my mind just went blank. They're trying to rip my fucking thoughts out of my head now.
Pretty much.
Okay, so they're standing in line, waiting, and when we die, we leave in a. There's actually more than one body, and the teachings of theosophy, Alice Bailey and that bunch, with and Leadbeater, W.C. Leadbeater. He's a super psychic, and they mapped out the different kinds of bodies after we die. And there's one that it's like a shell or a shade, and it will last for a while, but if no life or consciousness goes back into it, it'll fade away and it'll fade out. But there are these bodies aside from just our what we call the second body, the one that we go out, astral body that we travel in. But there's a body, and when she said that, it made me think of this whole prior study and learning that I had about these different kinds of bodies.
Yeah.
So as these bodies are, as we drop dead and go, if people go to the light, they end up standing in a line, but they're kind of trapped in the big white light place, and then it gives the bad guys time to like suck the life out of us or the consciousness out, and then go stick it somewhere else. Is that what you
Pretty
start
much.
seeing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, the stuff she sees, I don't see it like that, but I mean, I don't see, I'm not a visual person myself. But the stuff she shares, I've studied and read over and had given other people sessions, and it's just confirmation of all these things that I've learned over the years. This is fascinating as can be.
Pretty cool.
Okay, next, get some else.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can look
I'll-
into?
I'll look for more.
Okay, go for it. And another, I wanted to comment. These things that they're it looks like they're trying to really mm, camouflage or pretend like they're not. There's nothing here, folks. The impressions and the reads I'm getting are like they are really working to hide and not be spotted by your consciousness and light. So the reads are really small, sort of like,
Yeah.
but we got them. We're nailing them.
Okay.
Okay, start. Yeah, very good. That right there. God.
Well, I'm not sure if it's related, but from past like previous session we tracked one being in a box, and basically the being was abusing a person, and we followed the things I used. I could not like get him out, and so I trapped him in this box, and he cannot get out. In this box is shaking. So as I'm walking through the floor, I see this crystal with that box.
You stuck him in it.
So I'm not sure if it's related, but that just made me laugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess I'll continue to work with.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good.
Sorry.
Continue. That. Probably still thinking about it.
Yeah.
It was very satisfying, Sabian, to get that being that was basically harassing a client, much like the ones that are messing with you. And it was tricky, but Akvile put him in a box, and now she's seeing this. It's either the same entity in that box, or it just reminded her of it. But, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Continue. That right there. Got it. Almost got away. That's it. Big time. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny. I'm walking through the whole structure like level after level, and I'm not seeing anything stand out, and I'm like, wait. And like, literally, like, I pick up my foot and look like, what's the like literally my feet, and there's this like crystal like flat, and I pick it up, and it's literally like all the parallel universes, but it's all like negative, like with tons of triggers, with tons of uh painful incidents and stuff. So basically, whenever we get out of body or have an experience, a lot of things like we'll have in the mirror image, but in the like parallel negative universe where it's gonna be like scary. Like all the incidents will scare us, will trigger us, will make us like experience something really bad. Where in that place we make a belief like never again. I don't want to get out. I don't want to experience this. And it's all negative belief one after another that will create this huge like resistance for us to get out, because like we're still like the effects, we're like getting the consequences of that world. And that's like a we might not experience anything like in the past after different things, but in that parallel world it's gonna be everything that we will or like not want to experience in a negative, and that's affecting us. So like I just took care of it, but it's a pretty interesting
Wow.
structure.
Yeah. Very. Very good.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, Sabi?
Yeah, I'm trying to just understand what you're like. Where is this like going? Like how to like yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a little hard to understand sometimes.
Yeah. Do you want to explain better, or because I think like both of us can do.
Yeah.
I do understand about like going out of body and having the negative experiences when there is mirroring, but I can't recall any negative experiences or either I just don't remember them. I can only recall like two of them, and this was like kind of my own space where they were like basically just fighting with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so far as I've seen like those in that like parallel world, all the negative stuff that happens is so it's as if like it's a fake life. Like someone puts a copy of us, puts it in there with a bit of our consciousness, and we're not really experiencing it, but we're like seeing that like, oh, it hurt, oh, that was like nasty and stuff. And like it's a bunch of like watching a movie with a programming rules of like, you don't get it, like better not get out, better stay in here, and like different things that will create the beliefs, but we're not really experiencing that as much as just like seeing it in the negative, and it's scaring or like we just like start creating lots of beliefs, decisions, and different things that will keep us here in the body.
Okay, okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me let me see if I got see what I got out of this. How it's working. um, well, there's about 6 handlers messing
8.
with it. Eight handlers. Have we got them all yet? Have we dealt with them yet?
Hope so.
Yeah. Okay. I was just wondering if you did that part yet. Okay.
Is that like normal? Like to have 8 handlers? Like,
People have over 50,000 sometimes.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so 8 is really good.
Yeah, and some of
Got
them
it.
they work in clusters, like they all feel like they're one person or one being, but there's a lot of them
Yeah.
programmed together and crunched together. And sometimes they're very strong and dominating entities that like and they're like very distinctly individual entities, handlers. And my sense it was the second kind. They're kind of the ones you just addressed.
Yeah.
They were more like
Yeah, the bigger ones.
yeah, individual. They're like after you kind of thing. So after that, getting them spotted and out of there, then we somehow, how did we get to the crystal cave thing? How did that happen?
Well, I was like tracking the handlers, and I got in the cave because that's where like their control room is. Like all of them are assigned one crystal,
Oh, that's
which
right.
can affect humanity and like like mess with people in certain ways. And 8 of them are connected with you. Like at least these ones, the crystals I'm picking up, is like is assigned to the handler, and basically they cannot do much except like choose the crystal and program it in such way to control humanity in some way. So
Right.
they basically are powerless without the crystals, and
Right.
I'm just like the crystals like taking away their power.
Okay, so she's been picking off these crystal things that the handlers have been using to control and manipulate you and mess with you at night. So she found one crystal, I remember, that had to do with these spider looking things that put us in cocoons, so to speak. So when we fall asleep at night, we're already in a cocoon. We're in our
Yeah.
energy field. I always thought of it as oh, this is just my energy field. It's not very big. Well, duh,
Yeah,
and we can't see out of it because it's like being in a cocoon. It's blocked. We're locked in. And then they can like do a thing where they can somehow poison us in some metaphysical weird
Yeah.
way. And now it's like a toxin getting bit by a snake or something, and you go blind. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
So now we're spiritually blocked and blind, and we can't see through the cocoon anyway. And this is all that spider stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then so you had to go through all that. Did you
Yeah.
handle some spidery,
Yeah.
creepy shit?
Yeah. I got it.
Okay, so and that was within the crystal that some handler was using to throw this cocoon around you. You see, in your when you're trying to go out of body. And then there's this last thing you talked uh, about the memory wipe or something. Going blank.
Yeah, that's previously. But one thing is like the recent one I picked up is like it's like a crystal except it's like a flat coin or like a gum that you step in. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
To explain how it looks, you know.
Hidden in plain sight, right?
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
step on the gum, nobody pays attention to that. Okay.
Yeah, so like I literally found it like, oh, what's that?
Jeez.
But yeah, and that's the one that creates that parallel realms where they're basically programming us to not get out of the body and stuff like that.
Yeah, so in that, it's like we're being programmed in different ways, and this particular phenomena has to do with when we go to sleep at night, and most of our dreams are negative, bad dreams. It's like, can't I have some nice, wonderful dreams once in a while? Not if this is going on with you. So they kind of, this whole thing, they've got you in that, so when you go out of body or have a dream, they've basically stolen your dream world. They've absconded with it. They've overtaken it, your dream world. And so now what you get for dreams are these negative, you get the opposite of what you want sort of dreams in
Yeah.
this negative alternate world sort of thing. And this relates to what Andrew Bartzett's galactic historian says in his 20-hour thing. You can find him on YouTube, 20 hours of lectures and talks about this stuff. The the bad guys have stolen our dream worlds on Earth, and then they use them for their own reasons to keep us programmed and ignorant and dumbed down and stuff. So you found at least one of these kind of methods, and the in context how it's affecting our
Yeah.
Sabine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Did that help? Did that help kind of put it in a better picture
Yeah.
for
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Of
you?
course. I understand.
Okay.
So I can look for more crystals, or I can like target the entities that are like trying to rape you when you like fall asleep and stuff, in dreams and all.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing for me is just to get out myself. So yeah, that I don't understand fully. Like if you took care of those entities already, or what did you do with all the
Yeah,
crystals and stuff like
with all the
that?
crystals,
Yeah.
like whenever
What
I
you found
yeah
and yeah.
yeah. So with all the
Mhm.
crystals, whenever I have the experience, like I put my hand and I see everything and I explain it. Before
Mhm.
I open my eyes, I destroy the crystal and like literally take it out. So every time I like interact
Okay.
with crystal, I just took it out and like I just kept going with each one of them.
She
Yeah.
blows shit up. That's what she likes to do.
Not always.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you want to relook at these beings or men or astral persons or whatever that are doing that,
Yeah.
and see if who's left or what's there, and we'll track that down.
Okay.
Yeah.
That right there. Wow, there's a fight going on there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a fight. I'm picking up evil mother.
Okay. Yeah. So it seems like the last guy or like last handler, he did not had his own crystal, but he was like running like a astral black market, if we could call it that thing. And basically, he's literally like everyone that can get out of body or whatever is a like a merchandise or an item.
Merchandise product.
Yeah, like literally like.
Oh,
So
great.
these guys, like these handlers and like beings in the other world, when they're trading stuff, they're like trading like, oh, okay, I'll give you like 50,000 people, like whatever, like doesn't matter. So whenever they're like having games, they bet, they do their own thing. Their trading is like, whatever they choose, like humans as merchandise or whatever, and they're like, I don't know what was the deal, but basically, a few of your astral bodies were sold to the incubus succubus world. So if they have like a realm, like literally, I'm like tapping down there, oh, like a nude beach over here. Whoa, like there's like millions of them. A lot of these guys all over the place, and they literally like the handler literally like sold you, like, so your astral body is in there, and whoever wants, like, they can use you at any time. So literally, like, that's the thing. So I like took out the realm and took out the handlers, but that finding out that like black market opens up like another scenario where like we don't know what's going on out there.
Yeah.
There's so much. But
Wow.
it's pretty much crazy.
Her astral bodies that were over there in those places, can you bring
Yeah.
them back or do something
I
like
got
that?
it back.
Oh, you got them back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Ah.
cool.
Crazy.
Crazy, amazing stuff. Weird, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, very interesting.
Where are we at now? More things we can check into or look,
Yeah,
or
I feel like I took care of the most handlers. Like I took care of all their crystals. So I took care of the black market that was run at least by that one person. I don't know how much like are out there, but I got rid of all the handlers and these like incubus succubus that were like messing with you. I guess like the last time I can just scan, see if there's anything else connected. Look for your missing soul aspects or like parts that were taken away because of that process, or like, all those crystals and stuff, and go from there.
Another thing you can look into is agreements
Yeah.
that you either made in this lifetime or some earlier lifetime regarding this, that somehow was related to you being a target for this sort of activity.
Yeah.
You look into that, and there's one last thing we look into, but we'll check that later.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much this thing is valid, but it seems like it's more of a pre-birth thing. and like when they were like your parents were expecting you, and I'm not sure if it's anything from the surroundings, anything from the TV or whatever, or it's like parents talking, but there's a part where someone said like hey, I hope that angels are protecting our kiddo or like whatever, and that part of angels like it's just like an open door like an invitation like we need angels to be there for this kid, and we have these handlers pretending to be angels like hey, I'll be the angel. They can put on wings and stuff and like pretend to be good or whatever, but they're actually taking the control or whatever. So that's like the core part of the thing like
Mm-hmm.
regarding the agreements, and I'll take care of it and look
Mm-hmm.
for more.
Okay, good. Good.
Okay.
Does that make sense, Sabine?
Did you say at first like you were not like expected as a
Oh,
child?
no.
Your
Like
family?
while you were being expected, like while your parents were having you, in the
Yeah.
process, in the surroundings or like somewhere, like I'm not sure if it's from the TV, from people talking around, or your parents, but there's a place where someone wants angels to protect you. Like like we hope that the angels are protecting this kid or whatever. Something like it is what opens up the doors for these handlers to come in.
So it's like a telepathic thought or like a hypnotic suggestion. Your parents,
Uh,
while your mother was pregnant with you, somebody in the environment had said something like, "We want angels to protect our baby," and that worked as a command or an open door or an invitation for these entities that are not angels, but they they can use that as a doorway and an invitation. Oh, they invited us in like vampires. They're invited in to your space, and then that was the target, made you a target for this activity. Then,
Yeah.
like that.
okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Please continue.
And it seems like one of the things that these handlers were doing also is like trying to isolate you, like push people away from you, and like cause other people to think certain things, or like cause them to have certain emotions when they're around you, so that everyone makes the wrong impression, or they have like oh like that feels weird, and they're like walking away or whatever. But all this is basically all these like handlers, they're the ones like trying to create the surroundings where everyone goes away from you, and you're basically all alone by yourself, feeling lonely and like, depressed or whatever, like it's a negative like feeling state. And they're doing all that to make sure that they can control you, that you are asking help from them, and they're the ones giving you stuff. So now like they're more like putting you like as a hostage over there, like hey, you're gonna be our slave, like we're gonna do this and this, set up everything to that you would be all alone, and we're gonna be the ones helping you out. Like, so trying to like basically get in a place where you're asking for stuff from them. And I took care
Yeah.
of that like, whole thing. Like, it was cancel all the agreements, took care of the handlers, and we'll see what's up.
Great. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Wow.
So done with the agreements, or at least that's the core that I found. I can look for more entities in your surroundings, and then soul fragments, and then we can check for other stuff you've thought
Yeah,
about.
maybe we can check for the stuff now, or maybe in another session,
Yeah.
or later. But we'll see when you get done with this process.
Okay.
We'll see what's next. Because we want to end off in a real good place for you. And,
Okay.
hmm.
Yeah, so I was looking for like missing soul aspects, and it seems like all those handlers that were trying to isolate you, is as if they created a structure like a prison, and basically whenever I'm just like talking metaphors, but it's like a place where all of the good emotions and good feelings will be put into, and the story behind that is like hey, they don't want anything good coming your way. They want to like sort of deplete the source, like make sure like you don't have anything of your own, and like nothing comes in, like nothing good. So it's as if like that prison, whatever we would call it, when people have like they want to give you love, they want to give you attention, they want to give something good, it goes from them. But it's as if like these handlers or like entities and the different beings, they put all those things that are coming their way in the prison, and they close them down because they don't want to deal with it. It's too positive, it's too good for them. They're like not gonna get anything from it, but they don't want you to get it. So they're like putting it in the box, making sure like nothing can get your way. So all of the good stuff that was supposed to come your way, like people's approval, love, connection, whatever, is going in the prison, and nothing comes your way. And at the same time, people are like, hey, like I don't get anything back. Like they just like being sucked or drained, but they don't get anything back themselves. So like, it's as if like they are feeling that like isolation even more. And at the same time, parts of you are being like are leaving because like they're not getting enough attention, approval, or they cannot even exist because of certain reasons like entities and stuff. And like so the part of you like confidence and stuff like so becomes so like fragmented, and again they're being thrown in that prison thing. And it's stuff like these entities, they're like pulling like sock or whatever, so that sock being like a fake personality, a fake thing, and they're giving you fake parts of yourself where it just builds a life where you don't have abilities, where you're being more trapped and imprisoned or whatever. And it's just like you're filling yourself with things that whatever comes you're gonna take it in because you need it or you're craving for it, and it's actually the fake stuff that's not helping. And that being like not having abilities, not having visuals, not having this, like tons of things that are like sort of not helping. And so I got rid of all the fake stuff that was not helping you and open up the prison and like let everyone out to come and get back to you. And we'll see how that affects life.
Well, I'm just hoping that I can do another session with you. Maybe Akvile could teach me about the solar revolution more. I am now doing the commands. I'm also translating them to Estonian so that I can like resonate more with the wording and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will let you know about what's going to happen in the next phase. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
very excited.
Yeah. Keep
Yeah.
us posted. We're very interested in how it works and how you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
let you know.
And if you need any help with
Okay.
the soul contract vocation, let me know. I'll give you tips and stuff.
Okay. I will let you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. I will write to you soon.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys, and see you soon.
Okay.
And
Bye.
thank you. Okay. Bye bye.